support the resolution, support the bill, the resolution that's going to be in front of us here. But I think socialism is a moving target. This is what concerns me. We used to think about the size and scope of government instead of just a word. How big is our government as a percent of GDP? And for 50 years, we've been clocking around about 20% of GDP for federal spending. And then if you include state spending, it's been about 32% of the GDP has been spent by governments in this country. Over the last 50 years, it didn't change a whole lot. Now, we had a war, we had World War II, and we went up to war levels where it went to over 50% of GDP. But then during COVID, we spent an amount of money that was 30% federally of GDP, 50% overall, that only a few years earlier, if you'd looked at one of our socialist counterparts in Europe, you'd say that amount of money is socialism. When the government gets that big and the scope is that large, you are now in that territory. Now we've settled down, but we're still about 5% above where we were historically for 50 years. We're at 25% federally and 35% overall. We are inching closer toward socialism.
Hello, friends. I have important news to inform you about today. Even if you do not usually file a tax return, some state officials are suggesting that you do so. This is so that you can receive any available stimulus money that is left over from the American Rescue Plan. Many low-income households currently qualify for an extra $500. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also know that I'll be giving away 2 $75 Walmart gift cards this Friday. If you'd like to enter the weekly giveaways, all you have to do, friends, is make sure that you are subscribed to my channel, click and like several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. My friends, the more videos that you watch and then leave a comment on, the greater your chances of winning the Walmart gift card giveaways. Tax season is in full swing in the United States. According to official estimates from the government agency in charge of tax collection, it is expected that around 168 million Americans will file their tax returns this year. If taxpayers cannot complete the process by the deadline, they can request an extension from the Internal Revenue Service, which will postpone the deadline to October 15, 2023. However, it's important to note that the extension only applies to process the declaration as such, not to paying taxes. The IRS recommends filing your tax return electronically to ensure faster processing. Once your return is processed, the Internal Revenue has a period of 21 days to issue your tax refund. As long as you have completed the process electronically and have requested payment through direct deposit. The IRS has revealed that this is the fastest and best way to receive your refund. If you carry out the process in the traditional way and wait for the payment via printed checks, the time for receipt of the refund may increase from 6 weeks to 12 weeks. However, the payment may be delayed more, depending on the workload of the Internal Revenue Service. So it's best to follow the recommendations of the tax agency. A tax credit of up to $500 could soon be offered to millions of residents of Georgia. Governor Brian Kemp has suggested making the one-time direct payments with $1 billion of the state's $6.6 billion budget surplus. The Georgia State House approved the proposal this past Thursday, with a vote of 170 to 1. For further discussions, it will now travel to the state Senate. So if the policy is implemented, it will be based on House Bill 1302, which provided residents of Georgia taxpayers with a $500 rebate last year. This bill gave married couples who filed jointly up to $500, head of households $375, and single individuals $250. Residents who filed their tax return in 2020 and 2021 were eligible for the reimbursement. The majority of taxpayers received their money via paper check that was delivered to them. But some who filed electronically also received a direct transfer. The governor also discussed a $1 billion property tax relief scheme that had been authorized by the State House and would provide a $500 rebate to the typical homeowner in the state of Georgia. A similar program was run by the state until 2009, when it was later discontinued. A further $1.1 billion of the excess would be transferred to the Department of Transportation in Georgia's planned budget to pay for road maintenance. This happened after Georgia's gas tax, which is a significant source of funding for the department, was stopped last year. Also included in the budget is $100 million to assist regional school districts in covering the rising costs of employee health insurance. With state savings account and revenue collections at all-time highs, tax cuts are also expected to be a top priority for Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt and the Republican-controlled legislature when it begins a 2023 session this Monday. Last year, Governor Stitt has urged the House and Senate to send him bills to eliminate the state sales tax on groceries and reduce the individual and corporate income tax rate. But none of those proposals made it into law. All of those are expected to be part of the negotiations again this year. The state of Oklahoma currently has about $1.4 billion in its constitutional rainy day fund and a separate revenue stabilization fund. And the amount of money available for lawmakers to spend on this year's budget is expected to increase by another $950 million. The Internal Revenue Service sent out monthly checks worth half of the child tax credit to eligible families in 2021. Families received $300 a month for children up to age 6 or $250 for children between the ages of 6 and 17. Then the other half of the credit was given to families when they filed their tax returns. But now those expansions are gone. So families with children might be surprised when it's time to file their 2022 taxes. To qualify for the full 2022 credit, singles need an annual income of less than $200,000. And those who are married filing a joint return need to have an income that's less than $400,000. Well, my beautiful and most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for this Sunday. My friends, thank you so much for being part of this community and for being here every day and watching the new videos I post. I will be announcing 2 winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway this coming Friday. Please make sure that you enter the giveaway simply by clicking and liking several of my videos, and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. Thank you, friends, and have a wonderful and very blessed Sunday.